Hey guys, Sunnyveen here, bringing you my Spirit Wrapped 2025. This is the first year I'm doing it, so to keep it short, here's a bunch of fun facts about traveling spirits and new seasonal spirits of this year in the style of Spotify Wrapped. Let's start with the traveling spirits of 2025. This year there have been 48 traveling spirits total. Of those 48, only 13 spirits were new traveling spirits, and the other 35 are older traveling spirits that I've visited before. Of course, part of this total was spirits that visited in a group. This year there were 5 special group visits, bringing a total of 22 extra spirits to the world of Sky next to the regular traveling spirits schedule. Fun fact, this is the highest number of traveling spirits that I've visited so far. I talked about this problem a little bit already in this video, check it out, it's linked in my description. Alright, let's check out exactly how long it takes for spirits to return to the world of Sky. On average, it took these 48 spirits about 715 days to return. That's almost 2 years. Doesn't sound too bad, huh? Here's the average of the previous years. Of course, this year brought back the most elusive spirit of all time. Peking Postman finally came back after 1243 days. That's almost 3.5 years. No spirit has ever been away that long. This year also brought back Provoking Performer, who shares the record number of total visits as a traveling spirit if you count their arrow visit. Otherwise, Sassy Drifter has the record with 5 visits. And the weirdest visit goes to Mindful Miner. They came back end February, and then only 3.5 months later, they returned again in the Aurora group visits. Besides the Little Prince group and the Aurora spirits, these seasons had the most spirits visiting this year. And these seasons only had 1 spirit visiting this year. Season of Shattering is the Outcast with 0 spirits visiting. The latest season to have spirits visit for the first time is a Season of Moments, which means Season of Revival is next. Next, let's talk cosmetics and prices. The average amount of items the spirits brought this year was 3.5. The Prophet of Fire almost doubles that with their record of 6 items. The average amount of candles you have to spend to buy everything from a spirit's tree is 172 candles. That's a record amount, and I'm afraid it will only go up in the next few years. Fun fact, the spirit with the highest price in candles is Dancing Performer. That tree costs 251 candles total. The average amount of hearts you have to spend for a complete spirit tree is 12 hearts. This is a steady average compared to the previous years. Hiking Grouch skyrockets over this average though, with a total cost of 29 hearts. Out of 48 spirits, 39 brought an expression with them. Only 2 spirits had a call, 3 spirits had a stance, and 4 spirits had a friend action. Alright, enough about traveling spirits. Let's take a look at all the new seasonal spirits that we met this year. In 2025 we had 4 new seasons, just like every year, but there are quite a few firsts this year. It's the first time a season brought 3 or 5 seasonal spirits instead of the usual 4 or 6. It's also the first time they brought back older spirits as new versions of themselves. The Season of Radiance was the first time spirits were offering dye in their trees, and the Bluebird Guide was the first spirit ever to offer not just one of these 3, but all 3. And of course, this was the first time we were working with a new spirit tree. If you still don't fully understand this new one, check out my handy guide linked in the description. Alright, let's take a look at the season guides first. The average amount of quests per season in 2025 was 6.5. We got 26 seasonal quests total this year. The most amount of quests we got was with the last season of this year, the Season of Migration with 10 quests. Only one other season had this many quests, and that was the Season of Remembrance in 2023. Season guides always give away a bunch of hearts, and the Migration Guide gave away the most this year with 7 hearts total. Ultimate gifts are one of the steadiest numbers ever, with an average of 2 or 3 ults per season. We've had every single cosmetic type as an ult before, but the Season of Migration brought the first ever ultimate shoes. Since the Season of Assembly, season guides also tend to sell extra items in their trees for regular candles or hearts. This year, each guide only sold 1 extra item per season, all with a reasonable price. Alright, now onto all the new seasonal spirits. This year we got introduced to 18 new seasonal spirits, but they weren't exactly new to us. 12 out of 18 spirits were new versions of all the spirits that already existed in the world of Sky. Only for the season of the 2 Embers Part 1, we got 4 new seasonal spirits. And, well, a manatee as a bonus seasonal spirit. And of course, in the season of migration, we got to know the migrating bellmaker. And even though it's a new spirit, they can join these guys in the little bellmaker group. This year, the seasonal spirits and the Bluebird guide brought 9 new expressions, 3 new calls and 2 new stances. We got no new friend action this year, and 10 out of 22 spirits brought none of these actions. Let's talk cosmetics. This year we got 74 new cosmetics, which has been a steady average all these years. If we divide the cosmetics into their respective categories, we can see that 2025 brought a lot of new outfits, props and capes. However, if we ignore the season pendants, we got 0 neck accessories this year. We did get new head accessories again, finally. The last new one we got through seasons was almost 5 years ago, at the start of 2021. Now, let's take a look at the price of these cosmetics. In 2025, we had to spend 1,541 seasonal candles to get everything from all seasonal spirits. Season pass holders had about 427 candles left over after buying everything, and non-season pass holders had 53 seasonal candles left over after all 4 seasons. Even better news, the average price of a full spirit tree was 90.6 seasonal candles this year. Seasonal spirit trees haven't been this cheap since 2021. However, since Radiance brought dice to the world of Sky, the amount of spells and dice, aka unnecessary purchases, has risen to 85 total in 2025, while the previous average was 55. But since we can now skip these unnecessary purchases with this new spirit tree, this shouldn't become a problem in the future. This year brought the newest, most expensive seasonal spirit tree, and that is Radiance Provoking Performer with 139 seasonal candles. Compared to the cheapest one, Sassy Drifter, whose full tree only cost 14 seasonal candles back in 2019, Radiance Provoking Performer is almost 10 times as expensive. Another fun fact is that 2025 brought the spirit with the most amount of items in a spirit tree, but also the least amount of items. Scout Sentry has set a new record with 7 cosmetics in that tree. They even got 2 hairstyles and 2 different props. That same season also brought Caring Companion, which only had 1 prop for sale, and the bonus heart, which is a first for a seasonal spirit. Alright, after all that talking, this is the end of my Spirit Wrap 2025. I don't know if I'm just weird, but I think it's really cool to see all the numbers laid out in front of me and compare it to previous years and stuff. If you guys also like to see this type of content and you want more of it, I could make a video of me comparing 2025 to all the previous years of Sky, or compare events or anything else. Just let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, and I might make a video about it. Anyway, it's been really fun and I'm definitely gonna do the same thing next year. So if you have any feedback for this year's Spirit Wrapped, write it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!